reader, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Life Worth Reading. And welcome to a new reading vlog, or actually, welcome to TBR Destruction Project episode 6. This is the Read It or Unhaul It challenge that I've started in 2024, and I am in great desperation to try to reduce my TBR the most that I can before the year ends. And the end of the year is swiftly approaching, and I am just trying to give everything that I have to read the books that are on my physical TBR. We ended the last episode with 79 books on my TBR, but we're actually starting this episode with a really big change in those numbers, and we are starting with 72 books on my TBR. I've made some really good progress between that last episode and this one, and I am really excited because the goal for this episode is to go down under 70 books. Before we actually get started with picking out the book, I do want to tell you that I have finally finished Assassin's Quest, which was a whole journey. I finished this book this morning. Today is the 25th of November, and I am so sad that this is over, but so excited that I finally read it and that I finally finished this journey. And this was so amazing. It was definitely 5 stars. I think my favorite one is still Royal Assassin, the second book in the trilogy, but I just love them all so much. I think this is such an amazing trilogy that it's really hard to choose. With that being said, this book is finally finished. I am currently not reading anything, and so I really want to start a new book. And although I do have some that I would like to read, I think that where did I put that? Oh, here. That we need to choose the first book for this vlog. As you know, I have every book that is on my TBR here, except for numbers in series. For example, if I don't have third in a series here, if I haven't read the second one, you get the idea. So this has slightly less books than what is actually on my TBR, but without further ado, let's just pick. I have no idea what we're going to land on. Okay, one fell, so I'm gonna pick that one up. Oh no. Okay, this is Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. This I went through this in my latest vlog, the Color Wheel vlog, because I don't want to read this book because this is a buddy read that I'm going to be doing. So I don't want to read this book without my friend. So we're taking that one out because yeah, like that's going to be a buddy read, and I will not read it on my own. So let's pick out another book and let's try to tame my hair. I haven't gotten ready for the day today. I'm sure you can tell that. But I just really wanted to start this vlog, but I will be getting ready for the day later on, okay? But yeah, let's pick out again. Okay. This is Filthy Animals by Brandon Taylor. So this is a book that we've chosen. This is Filthy Animals. This is a short story collection, actually. I don't know what exactly the theme is. I have no idea. It says here, in a series of linked stories at the heart of Filthy Animals set among young people in the American Midwest, a young man treads delicate emotional waters as he navigates a series of sexually fraught encounters with 2 dancers in an open relationship. In other stories, a young woman battles with the cancer draining her body and her family. Menacing undercurrents among a group of teenagers explode into violence on a winter night, and couples feel out the jagged edges of connection, comfort, and cruelty. Psychologically taut and quietly devastating, Filthy Animals is a tender portrait of the fierce longing for intimacy, the lingering presence of pain, and the desire for love in a world that seems more often than not to withhold it. Okay, so this sounds very intense, actually, which I wasn't expecting. But we're going to try a couple of the stories out. I haven't had the best luck this year with short story collections, but we're going to try this one out. I will be letting you know, I guess, after almost every story what I thought or what my rating was. I'm just going to see how many stories are in here. So it's okay, so it's 11 stories in here. Okay, so I'll be letting you know what I think as we continue to read this, and hopefully I'll want to keep it, but I've been really ruthless with my unhauls lately, so I really don't know how this will fare. Today I'm starting my morning in the kitchen. I've just made myself breakfast, and then after I'm going to be reading Filthy Animals by Brendan Taylor. I'm currently almost halfway through. I'm currently on page 110. So I'll be telling you a little bit more about each story and how I'm feeling about this so far. But I really want to make some progress in this today and hopefully finish it. So I'm going to be reading a story with my breakfast and after breakfast as well, before I had to work on some other things. But yeah, good morning. I haven't spoken to you in a while, and I'll tell you more about that in a little bit, but first we're going to eat. Okay, so it has been a little bit since I first spoke to you this morning. I have filmed a video, that's why I look a little bit different. And I have been reading again Filthy Animals. I am currently on page 135. I'm about to read the story that gave the book its title. And I have some thoughts on this. First of all, I am really loving the writing. I think that this author is very talented. I haven't read Real Life yet, but I feel like the writing in this book is really amazing. But the stories, I don't know how I feel about it, because basically what has happened is that we have the first story, which is called The Potluck, and we have 3 characters in it. We have Lionel, we have Charles, and we have Sophie, right? And so the story is that Lionel goes to this potluck, and it's just what happens there, and he's been dealing with some things mental health wise, so triggers for that. And I thought that this would be like loose stories, because that's usually what a short story collection is. But there are other stories about them in this book. And I've just read the 3rd story about them in this book. And then there were 2 others that weren't about these characters, and that were about just random people, random vignettes. But I just finished the 3rd story about these characters, which is really making me wonder why it's not just a book about them. Because why are we in a short story collection having multiple stories about the same people? And it's like it's a narrative. Like it starts on a day, and then it's like the next day, and then the next day, and so we are following a narrative. It's not just about the same characters, it's a narrative. So why don't we have a novel about these books, or like a novella about these people? I don't know, I feel like it's just kind of defeating the purpose of a short story collection, if that makes sense. I don't know, because it feels like I'm getting more than I should have for a short story. but I'm also getting less than I should have for an actual fully developed novel or novella. So it's just leaving me at like this really weird middle halfway point where I just don't know if this is enough or not. I don't know if I am knowing about these characters enough to really bond with them, or if I'm not getting enough out of them and it's still just a short story. Does this make sense? Does anything that I'm saying make sense? I hope that it does. I don't know. It's just it's a strange concept to me that I'm not sure that I'm fully enjoying, because then we'll just have a random story in the middle that has nothing to do with these characters, and then we'll get back to the characters. So it's just making this a really weird reading experience. It's not that I'm not enjoying it. It's just I've never encountered anything like it, and I don't know if this is the most conducive to me enjoying both the story and the characters. But I don't know. I'm going to continue reading. I'm going to read the next story, and then I have to go edit the video. So I'm going to read the next story, and then we'll just see how I feel about it, because yeah, so far it's really weird. I wasn't expecting for stories to have the same characters, so I'm finding that a bit strange, but I'm going to keep reading this and hopefully I'll finish it today and tell you my thoughts later on. Guys, it has been a while since I've last spoken to you. It's been a while. This hasn't been the easiest week. It was that time of the month and I was just really struggling a lot physically, mentally. It was just a little bit too much this week, okay? So I haven't spoken to you. But last night, which was Friday, today is Saturday morning, I did finally finish Filthy Animals by Brandon Taylor. This took me a little bit longer than what I expected, and I'm here to give you my final thoughts on it so we can move on to a different book. This made me really sad because I feel like Brandon Taylor is so talented, and I definitely want to read Real Life, and I want to continue on reading whatever he comes out with next because he's so talented. His writing is amazing and it really made me feel a lot of emotion, but the stories themselves just weren't favorites. I feel like this happens a lot with short story collections where I just don't see eye to eye with what the author considers worth exploring when it comes to a certain character, a certain background. And I thought it was a really confusing, it was an interesting idea, but I don't feel like the execution worked for me, of having a story that was coming back time and time again, but in the middle of those like stories that didn't have anything to do with that and with the completely different characters, it made this feel like not very well balanced, because we knew so much more about certain characters than we did about other ones, and I just didn't really like that. I think I prefer either an actual novel or a short story collection that is just about these characters, but this was like a linear thing. This was like 4 stories set continuously in time, so within the same like 36 or 48 hours of each other, and so it felt like a novel. It felt like the natural progression of a novel, but it wasn't. It didn't have enough to be a novel, but it also didn't have what I would expect in a short story. And the strangeness of having other characters in the middle of this, I just didn't vibe with it. I really didn't vibe with it. My least favorite story was the titular story, which was like about these Midwestern boys and like a lot of violence, and I don't like following violent teenage boys, so I really didn't like that one. But other than that, like, I liked them, but it just felt very out of balance for me. Like, either we would have more about these characters and I could fall more in love with them and with the story, or we would have less of them and it would be more balanced with the other stories that I didn't know so much about. Does any of this make sense? I hope it does. With that being said, in terms of the stories, it's definitely like a 3, but I do really like the writing, so I'm considering like a 3.5. But yeah, it just wasn't a favorite. I'm still thinking for now I'm going to keep it, but just not a favorite. But this means that it's time to pick out a new book, and we currently have 71 books on our TBR. Our goal is to go below 70, so we're on our way there, and I'm going to pick out another one. I am frightened, so scared, but let's do this. This is 2, so I'm going to pick up this one. What does it say? Oh, this is Milk Bud Heat. I've read this one, so that I have to take that out and pick again. That was also a short story collection that I didn't really like. I'm not having the best time with short story collections this year, which is a shame because I do usually really like that. Also, my nails are an absolute mess. I'm going to redo them today, so if you see me with different nails, that's what happened, because they are a mess. What is that? Fina by Nino Cipri. Okay, I've also read this one. Guys, what is going on? Let's pick again. I also really like that one. Is that backwards? I think it is. Soaring Bliss by Meg Manson. I literally just unhauled this book. I mean, it's still here, but I just unhauled this book in my latest color wheel video. So this is not going well. Damn. Like, those are 3 books that I've either already read or unhauled. Will I be lucky this time? Like... The Adventures of Amina Al-Zarafi by S.H. Chakraborty. Okay, I'm really into this. I'm really into this. It's a big book, but I'm really into this. So here we have it, The Adventures of Amina Al-Zarafi by Shannon Chakraborty. This is the author of the David Bad trilogy, which is The City of Brass, if you know that first book, which I am curious of reading, but I do want to read this one first to see how I feel about the writing. I know it's about a pirate that is long retired, but she is called back into the game for like one last heist or something like that, which is really intriguing. I bought this beautiful hardcover because I'm just obsessed with the cover, and I feel like I really do like, I don't know if I do like pirate. I think I do. I feel like I need more pirate in my life, but I do love fantasy, and I'm in a really big fantasy mood. I've just finished Assassin's Quest before reading Filthy Animals. Yeah, I talked about it in the beginning of the vlog, and so I'm really in a big fantasy mood. How long is this? This is 470 pages. That's a lot. That is a lot. Oh my god. This is what Shannon Chakraborty looks like. Oh my god, she's so cute. Oh my god, I've never seen her. Okay, so yeah. I'm excited about this. Okay, I'm really excited about this. I am also a bit scared of this because I feel like this year I bought this book in tandem with 2 others. I bought The Familiar and I bought Chlorine. I hated both of those books. Okay, I hated The Familiar more, but I also didn't really like Chlorine. And so I'm kind of scared. Like, do I even know my own taste? I don't know. But we're going to start reading this today. Hopefully make some good progress in it. I'm also going to try to find it maybe on my Kindle, so when I go out for like university and stuff, I can actually bring it, because I'm not bringing this beautiful hardcover with me anywhere. So I might do that, but well, this is exciting. Definitely exciting. This is not very much a wintry read. This is more of a summer read, but hey, it is what it is, right? So that's exciting. Also, I look like a fucking mess. I know that I do. It's still the morning time. I'm going to work out. I'm going to take a shower. Things will get better. Things will get better here, okay? I will look better in a little bit. I'm going to work out because I haven't done that all week because I was feeling like a dumpster. I was feeling like garbage. But I'm feeling better now. So I'm going to work out, I'm going to take a shower, and then we're going to start reading The Adventures of Amina Al-Zarafi. I also have to do my nails today. I have actually a lot of things to do today. But I have to film a video today. There's actually a lot going on. But I will be reading and I'll be letting you know how I feel about it. And I hope that I love it because I deserve that. Hello, I'm cozy in my bed again, and I want to tell you my first update on The Adventures of Amina Al-Zarafi. I am currently on page, I think like 110, 112. Yeah, I'm on page like 112, so I'm only a little bit into it, like a quarter into this book, but I'm really enjoying it. I feel like there are some things in the world building that I don't quite understand yet. I feel like we were really like thrown in the midst of this whole world, which has a lot of like old medieval Islamic culture as well, which I don't know very well, which makes this very interesting to read, of course, but it also means that there are a lot of concepts and terms that are related to the actual Islamic culture that do exist, and then also some fantasy elements that don't exist and are made up. And so it's just very new to me, but I am just really appreciating just how different this fantasy world is. Honestly, just it's nice to read such a different type of fantasy. I'm enjoying Amina as a main character. She is over 40 now. She's a mother. And it's just a different perspective as well in a fantasy world. I haven't seen yet. It's one of those cases where she has such a legacy, and it's like, oh my god, Amina was such this and that, and we haven't gotten to see very much of it yet, but I think that we will. Moving on, I feel like we will see more and more of what makes her this amazing pirate that is known literally everywhere, and I'm just really enjoying this so far. I'm going to read more now, but I wanted to update you before I become too sleepy to talk, honestly. So I think that I'm going to read a little bit more now, but yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm reading this much more slowly than I'm supposed to, quite honestly, but the weekend are also like for like family time, and I had to do some university work today for my post-grad, and it's just a lot. But yeah, today is December 1st. It's a new month, and I am really excited about that. It's my birthday month. Actually, I'm turning 25, which is honestly terrifying, and I'm trying to be excited for it, but at the same time I'm very scared of turning 25. But you know, one day I'll look back and I'll say to myself like, oh my god, what was I so anxious about? Like, that is literally nothing. But yeah, I'm just a little bit scared, but yeah, it's a new month. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better than I was, which is no small feat, you know. It's been a couple of rough months. Like, one day I'll talk about it, but not yet. But some major like life changes happened. There's a lot of healing that is being done, like, you know, like behind the scenes. So I don't know, I'm just doing the best that I can, and I feel like a new month always brings me a lot of hope, and it's exciting. It's a good month. It's Christmas. I'm not really a big fan of Christmas, but I'm trying to be this year. And yeah, I'm just going to be reading books and making this the best month that I can make it. And I'm sorry for this little rant that has absolutely nothing to do with the books. I'm going to keep reading now, and we'll talk tomorrow and see how far I got into it. Oh hey, guess who's cozy in their bed reading again? Me. It's me. It's Monday. Today I just stayed home. all day. That's a lie. I actually went out with my mom for a little bit, but I worked out for a little bit. Listen, I don't work out a lot. I'm not like a 1 hour a day kind of person. Like, I just do quick, like 20 to 30 minute workouts, and I'm just trying to do the best that I can because I hate working out, and I'm trying to fix that. But yeah, I worked out in the morning, then I took a shower, I washed my hair, and then what did I do? I read. I had therapy, which was really important, and then I read some more. And because of that, I'm now almost on page 300 of The Adventures of Amina Al-Zarafi. I am about 60% of the way through, so I've read a lot today. I've made a lot of progress, and I'm trying to read the most that I can before I head off to bed tonight. My goal was to reach page at least 300, but the more that I can read, the better, because tomorrow I have a dentist appointment in the morning, so I know that I'll bring my Kindle, but I'm not going to be able to like update you or anything. And I am going to tell you what I think of it, because that's what updates are for, right? Anyway, the camera might be in a slightly different position. My mom came in to talk to me, so I kind of lost my train of thought. But I do want to talk to you a little bit about this book, though I don't have a lot of thoughts, honestly. I think that this book is good, right? I'm enjoying the writing, I'm enjoying the characters, but the plot is losing me. It's not losing me, because I'm excited to read it and I want to continue on reading it, but it's a bit convoluted, right? So Amina is hired to search for this teenage child, right, who is the daughter of this crewmate that she used to have on her ship, and she is also like the granddaughter of someone who is very wealthy. And so she goes missing. And a woman approaches Amina saying that she was kidnapped and that Amina needs to find her. She offers her a lot of money, but also threatens her. She says that she knows where she is hiding with her child, because she didn't really retire. She hid away because she has a lot of enemies, and so she wanted to live in peace. So this woman knows where she is, and she threatens Amina that if she doesn't find her granddaughter, she's going to air out her business and air out where she's staying and make sure that her family is no longer safe. So Amina kind of has no choice, even though that she does enjoy the pirate life. She kind of has no choice than to follow on this trail and find out where this child is. The thing is that she is picking out her crew members, her old crew members. It's kind of like that part in the heist where she's coming to pick out the members of her team and like old friends and such. And I'm enjoying that fine. And like, I'm really into the world building now. There are still some new concepts that are thrown in as the story evolves, but I'm feeling good about it. I no longer have, it was just a little bit of an adaptation, but I'm totally fine now. I'm just not loving it. And I thought that I would love it. I'm liking it. It's good, but it's not great, at least not yet. And I don't know what's missing. I think it's truly like the plot and what's happening, but I'm not sure if yeah, like, I'm not trying to say that it's bad or anything. I'm not loving it. It's not giving me like the high 5-star energy, but I think it's fine. She is discovering more about where this granddaughter might be. So she might be hiding away in an island, because apparently she was searching for a very mythical item that people don't even know if it exists or not. It was in like ancient texts, but does it actually exist? Does it not? It's hard to know. But apparently she was looking for it with someone who is very powerful, someone who is very spooky, and Amina, because she has to find the granddaughter, has to deal with the person that apparently she was with. There's also a lot of magic. There's like demon kind of figures, not really demons because of the mythology, religion, fantasy context in which this applies. but they are demon-like figures. So there's a lot of dark magic, there's a lot going on. I think there's a lot going on. But I am liking it. I think it's good. And I'm holding on to that because I think I'm having a good time with it. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I'm having a good enough time, and I think that a story like this needs to be entertaining. It has to be fast-paced, it has to be interesting, and I think it is. So I'm going to continue reading it. I'm going to read as much as I can today, so I only have like 100 or so pages to read tomorrow, so I could finish and pick out a new book. But it's maybe not what I expected, but I think I'm being pleasantly surprised. And I still have a little bit less than 200 pages, but I still have 200 pages for this book to really surprise me. So if it does, I'm here for it. There's still time for this book to impress me and become even better in my mind, and I'm excited for that. But yeah, tomorrow morning it's dentist time, and thankfully it's just a checkup. It's not wisdom teeth again, not yet at least. So at least I'm feeling good about that. But I do have to go to bed kind of early today because it's early in the morning. Whatever, you don't give a shit. I'm just going to keep reading and then I'm going to go to bed. I have great, beautiful, amazing news, and that is that I have now finished The Adventures of Amina Al-Zarafi. I don't have the greatest news about what I actually thought of the book, but it's great news that I have finished it. It is now the next day. I have been to the dentist this morning. I read a little bit, and then I also treated myself, or my mom treated me, to my little advent calendar. I really needed this, and I am a few days late. It is now the 3rd of December, so I'm a few days late, but yeah, I really needed that. But in any case, let's talk about The Adventures of Amina Al-Zarafi. Unfortunately, this was not my favorite thing, and the more I read it, the more I got a little bit unsure about it. I think this got a little bit too big in its world building. This got a little bit out of hand. The plot kind of lost me a little bit. Either the plot lost me or this author kind of lost the plot. I'm still not sure which one is it. But yeah, the first half was much stronger than the second half. And I have read some reviews that agree with me, so I don't feel that insane saying it. I feel like we were just headed somewhere, and then like the author kind of shifted to something that was very much more expansive, something that's enormous and that I didn't quite understand. And I feel like it just got, yeah, it just got a little bit too big, too grand, too, I don't want to say ridiculous, because all of this is ridiculous. This is a fantasy book, so all of this is not real, so I don't want to say that, but it just got a little bit too ridiculous, a little bit too, yeah, I don't know, it just didn't grip me as much as the first half did. I feel like the first half was very grounded. It was very much like a pirate story, and then it just kind of shifted into something else that I'm not sure that I'm the biggest fan of. The plot just got very convoluted. There were so many aspects to it, and there was a lot of like back and forth, and I just didn't really love it. So I feel like, with that being said, I feel like it was a strong 4 in like the first half, and then it just went down, and I think that my overall enjoyment is like a 3, maybe a 3.5. And I know that I've been giving a lot of books that rating, but it just feels that way. I can't really explain it. My enjoyment of this just felt like a 3. It was just like, okay, I was really excited about something, and then I got less and less and less excited about something, and now I'm just feeling okay about it. I feel like having an older main character was great. A lot of the found family elements were there. The other characters weren't very present, but in the moments where they were, I could feel that found family element. There was also another character that was kind of like a demonish character that I enjoyed reading about. but the plot just got very convoluted. It just got very big and it kind of lost me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. So I feel like overall it's a 3. I feel like I might continue on. I'm not unhauling this yet. I feel like I might continue on when the next book comes out next year. I'll be reading some reviews first, but I feel like I am interested in seeing where it goes from here, because I feel like the setup for the next books is interesting. It's just that, yeah, I wish it would have been a little bit simpler of a plot, which I don't often say, but I feel like this book needed something a little bit more simple. And with that, it's time to pick out the next book. And this means that with this next book, we will be officially under 70 books, because currently we are at 70 books. So when I pick out this book and I start reading it, we will be at 69 books, which is so exciting. And it was my goal for this vlog. So let's pick out something. I have no idea what I feel like reading at the moment. It would be great if one of the books that are on my winter TBR could show up here. But, oh, one of them fell out. But I have no idea if that's going to happen, so we'll just have to see what this is. I still haven't done my nails. Can you believe that? I still haven't done them. Oh my god, I've just been a busy gal doing absolutely nothing at all. Okay. Great. This is How Beautiful We Were by Imbola Mbwe. I'm going to go get it. This is a book that I've also been meaning to read all year. This was in my spring TBR, something like that. It's about a fictional African village of Kozaya. This is a story of people living in fear amidst environmental degradation wrought by an American oil company. Pipeline spills have rendered farmlands infertile. Children are dying from drinking toxic water. Promises of cleanup and financial reparations are made and broken. Left with few choices, the people of Kozawa decide to fight back, but it'll come at a steep price, one which generation after generation will have to pay. I'm excited about this one. This was actually one of Kayla's favorite books of the last year, and I've been really excited to read it ever since. It does sound like it's going to be a little bit heavy, a little bit sad, but honestly, I'm kind of ready for this challenge. And I'm really excited about this one. I hope that I like it better than both of these first books, because I need a big win. I think that I'm going to talk to you once I'm like 100 pages in. Hopefully that'll be tonight, but we never know. But yeah, I'm going to talk to you when I'm at least a third of the way in, and we'll chat about this book and how I'm feeling about it. I am feeling kind of shitty today, I'm not gonna lie. My allergies have been so bad lately, and today I just feel bad. Like my head kind of hurts, I can't stop sneezing and blowing my nose, so I'm just kind of going through it, I'm not gonna lie. But I do have my first update on How Beautiful We Were. I am currently 120 pages into this book, and I have not a lot of thoughts, but they're positive thoughts. I'm really enjoying this. I think that it's a very slow book to read. You have to take in every single word, and I don't know why that is, because the language itself is not complicated, but it's just very, like, very slow. The way that it is written, the way that you have to read it. yeah, it's just like you have to take your time with it. I read this book for like an hour and a half last night, just like fully reading every single word so slowly and just really taking my time with it, because it feels like so carefully construed that it feels like I have to take that care with it. But I am really enjoying it. Again, this is about this African, I meant to say fictional African village called Kazoa, where this is set in the 80s. But a few years before, in the 60s or 70s, this American oil company has come into this village and has set up an oil drilling plant and has polluted every single river, the land, the food, the water. Everything is ruined. Children are dying at really alarming rates, and they aren't doing anything, as you might imagine. So we start this book with a meeting, a town meeting, with these 3 representatives of this oil company who come and say that everything's fine, everything's okay, don't worry about it, everything will be fine. And the leader of the village has taken their side because he has a lot of benefits because of that. So he has totally betrayed his own village, and he is siding with the American oil company. And so they are both saying to the villagers, don't worry, your children are dying, but everything will be fine. Don't you worry about it. But people are worried about it. And so they make this decision to do something about it. And it's the very slow unraveling of that decision, of what that entails. And yeah, it's just very, I wouldn't say that me talking about it would be a spoiler, because this is not a book about twists or turns. This is just about the decision they made a decision 20 or 30 pages in, so it's really not a spoiler, to kind of kidnap these 3 representatives and figure out what they're going to do with them. Not in a violent way, really not in a violent way, at least not yet. But it's just okay, we're keeping these people here, and they're going to tell us how we're going to fix the situation, who we have to talk to. They're very specific in that way. They're just tell us names of people who can help us. It's not oh, we're gonna kill them or we're gonna hurt them. It's really not that. And so it's just a very slow unraveling of the situation, of them trying to figure out what they're going to do. We have different perspectives. We have the children, we have one of the children in a separate perspective called Thula, whose father went to the city where this oil company is situated and just didn't come back. So they're still waiting for him, trying to figure out what happened to him. So we have her perspective, we have his brother's perspective, who is now kind of in charge of the situation as well. So we have a few different perspectives, and it is I'm not gonna say it's the most interesting, because like I said, it's a very slow unraveling, but I am really invested because I know that these things happened. I know these things continue to happen, so I have so many thoughts and feelings about this, because these things keep on happening. And yeah, these people just feel so limited in what they can do, and it is so true. They don't have a lot of power over what happens, and the fact that their own village leader just kind of sold them out is so horrifying, right? Because why would you sell out your own village for your own personal benefit? So I'm really enjoying this. I'm going to keep reading. I did update my reading journal a few minutes ago. That's why the camera is on the desk. And I did my December spread. I'm so excited. I'm going to start working on my 2025 reading journal soon. It's just so stressful. I feel really stressed. I enjoy it, but I just feel really stressed about it. But I'm going to start soon. I'm just trying to get, I loved what I did last year, but I'm just trying to get more ideas for different types of initial spreads. Maybe I'm gonna try a bingo this year. I don't know. I'm just watching a lot of videos and trying to figure out what I would want to take, what I want to adapt into my own reading journal. But yeah, right now I'm going to read for a little bit, and I'm going to take a shower and get ready for the day, because this afternoon I have my classes, but I'm also going to the cinema before. I'm going to my new favorite local cinema, and I'm going to be watching Boyhood, which is a movie that has come out like almost 10 years ago, maybe 10 years ago actually, and I haven't seen it yet. I have like an emotional tie to that movie, which is why I haven't been able to see it, but today I'm getting the fuck over it and I'm going to watch it because the tickets were like $2 and I just like going to there. So I'm going there after lunch. Like I'm leaving my house at about like 2:30, so I still have like 2 hours left, and I'm going to read for a little bit, the most that I can, at least until page 150, because this book is very slow to read, and I'm going to be taking it with me. But hopefully I'll reach page at least 200 tonight, which is, well, it's not a lot, right? It's like, yeah, but it's fine. I'm enjoying it. I'm taking my time with it. If this vlog comes out a little later, that's fine by me. So I'll see you when I have more thoughts. And yeah, I'm just going to try to enjoy my day the most that I can, even though my allergies are fucking me up. But I'm going to try and enjoy the day as best as I can. Quick update this morning, just to tell you that I'm currently on page 200 of How Beautiful We Were. So I have a little bit less than halfway to go. I have about 160 pages, and again, this book is really beautiful, but it reads very slowly. Like I really do need to take my time with it in order to understand and take in every word and every sentence. So it has been taking me a long time. I will say that the timelines are a bit confusing because we're going a little bit back and forth too much. Like I can't really tell sometimes where we are in time in relation to the events that are happening, but that's like my only complaint, I would say, because the rest of it is really amazing and I'm having a really great time with it. It's just, yeah, I'm just a little bit confused sometimes, but I'm hopefully going to keep reading this today. Today I am visiting my grandma again. I love visiting her at least once a week. So I'm going there today, and then I have my classes, so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to read, but hopefully at night I want to reach, ideally I would reach page 300, but I don't know if that will happen. So at least page 250 would be great, because that would leave me like about 110 pages to go, but I don't know. We'll just have to see where I get to, but yeah, I'm just still really enjoying this. It's like a solid 4-star at the moment for me, and I am glad that I'm finally reading this book. Hello, I feel like I haven't done the best job at really updating this vlog, but honestly I think that's fine. I have now finished the last book for this vlog, which is How Beautiful We Were by Mbula Umbe, and unfortunately my feelings about it kind of shifted a little bit. This, even though it's under 400 pages, this is the slowest, longest book I feel like I've ever read, or at least this year. This went by excruciatingly slow, and it's not exactly a critique because I feel like it is purposeful. I feel like this author really wanted to show us how slow the process of getting justice is, of getting reparations, of how unfair the whole process is. So I really do feel like it is purposeful. I don't feel like it's a fault of the writing. I don't feel like it's a fault of the book, but sometimes it just felt like a chore to read. It was engrossing, but at the same time it just went by so slowly. Another thing that I really didn't enjoy was we went back and forth a lot in time, which was a little bit confusing. And it's like 5 years before her return, 4 months after her return, 2 years before her return, 2 weeks after this happened, and we were always going back and forth. It wasn't very linear, and I feel like sometimes I was just a little bit confused about where we were at. And again, it was just the slowest unfolding of this village trying to get reparations for what this American oil company had done to their land, what they had done to their children, and it was like 40 years of this, which again is what happens in real life. And unfortunately these things do happen. I don't feel like it's a fault of the writing, but at the same time, it just felt like yeah, it just felt like a chore to read sometimes. It was really difficult to, I don't know. I just didn't, I liked the writing, I liked some passages of it, but I don't know, it was just very, it was very slow, unmoving. I don't want to say boring, it wasn't boring, but it was just a lot of the same. And again, purposeful, because when you're trying to get reparations for something, it is slow. You're going to have to repeat a lot of things. You're going to have to start over a cycle many times because things just don't come easily. Change doesn't come easily. Things just don't happen for not privileged people. So of course it's going to be this way. But it just wasn't the greatest reading experience, if that makes sense. I understand it, but as a reader, it wasn't the best experience for me for it to be unfolding this way and being told this way. That is so true to how things actually do happen in real life. I'm sick of telling you guys that I'm going to give things 3.5. I think that this is a 3 for me. There were a lot of things that I really liked about it. There were things that I didn't feel so good about. It did take me a long time to read. I don't know, it just feels like a 3, it feels like a 3.5, but I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, in this vlog, we finished 3 books that were all, they were all good books. I did not enjoy any of them, which is good. But they weren't like new favorites, which is a bit sad. But we have completed our purpose, which was to get under 70 books on my TBR. We are currently at number 69, and I am so excited about it. I'm kind of worried that with my birthday coming up, Christmas coming up, I feel like that number will not last, but we will enjoy it while it does. I am currently under 70 books, and we are going to pretend that that number will not get bigger soon. That's a 2025 me problem, honestly. Here, we're still in 2024, and my TBR is slowly decreasing, which is all I can honestly ask for. In any case, I hope that you did enjoy this new episode of TBR Destruction Project. I don't feel like I have enough time in the year to make another video like this, but we are definitely continuing on in 2025. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a rebrand, if I'm going to keep the name and concept as it is. We will have to figure all that out next year, but I hope that you did enjoy watching this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content, and I'll see you in my next video. I hope you have a nice day, and always remember that life is worth reading.